Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here for today's video. We have the final video of the NBA 2021-2022 ranking series looking at the center position. So starting tomorrow, I am going to be starting a 30-team, 30-day rebuild type of series thing for NBA 2K22, assuming the game lets me, because let's be honest, 2K in years past has not been the greatest. But over on my second channel, Extra Crispy, I actually reacted to the first NBA 2K22 rebuild, so go check that out. Just want to get like an idea of like what the game mode was going to be like and stuff like that, man. So yeah, go check that out. But here we go, ranking centers. So just the TLDR rules on this, man. We are doing it based off tiers. If a guy is in a tier, that means that's not in order. So if we have, 5 guys in the top 15, which we should, then that's not going to be like in order, right? Like that's for you to decide on who should be placed where, simply because, it takes away from the discussion deciding like, oh, why do you have number 7 over number 8? Like, it's not important, right, man? So yes, also I did not make this. I did not make the actual tier thing, so that there's a position out of place. Not my fault, man. So yes, let's go ahead and get going on this, and thank you guys so much for the support on the series over the past 5 days. So we're going to start with Al Horford of the Boston Celtics. So Al Horford, to me, like, he had some decent moments when he was playing for the OKC Thunder, but obviously they shut him down for like tanking purposes or whatever. I probably gotta say Al Horford, not the player he once was by any stretch of the imagination. For now, probably in that top 25 range, but I could possibly see top 20 by the time we end this video here, man. All right, next up we have Bam Adebayo. So for me, I will probably say Bam very well could be top 5. He could be top 5. I think he's extremely underrated. I'm just trying to think real quickly here if that's a little bit of an overstatement too early on. I think for now I'll have him in top 5, but based off of this goal, you might see him as like number 6 in the top 10 or something like that, right? Alrighty, next up we got Blake Griffin, man. So Blake Griffin, to me, I don't think he's a top center in the NBA. I think he's a power forward. If he was a power forward, I'd probably rank him a little bit more nicely here, but yeah, he does little dunks every now and then, man, but he's just not the player he once was, obviously. Getting paid like he once was in the Pistons buyout and everything. I'm just gonna say, no, I'm not being biased here, man. I legitimately do not like Blake Griffin as a center. I like him as a power forward in the NBA, so I probably have him in top 25 right now, but perhaps could get moved up to top 20. If it was power forward, he'd be more in that range. Next up, we got Brook Lopez. So Brook Lopez can be a little inconsistent, but I also like it too. Like every now and then, if Giannis is injured or something like that, man, like you can see Brook Lopez can go to his old like Brooklyn Nets tier self, where he's like, hey, like I could still be that go-to scorer on the inside. It's just now he plays more of like a limited type of role by choice. I probably still have Brook Lopez as the top 20 center. I feel like that feels pretty good. Okay, next up we do have Clint Capela. And also, let me just mention about centers real quick here, man. I feel like centers are very tough to rank because it's definitely the most like specialty position in the NBA now, where, based off how your offense is going to run is the type of center you have. Like, do you want like a guy on the inside? Do you want guys that can shoot threes? Do you want guys that are there for perimeter defense? Do you want to go tall ball, small ball, all that stuff? So it's very hard to rank this type of thing out here. But next we got Clint Capela. I'm going to have Clint Capela as top 15. I think he's like the perfect center for that Atlanta Hawks team. I like what he brings to the table. Yeah, he's a good player. Next up, we do have Christian Wood. I'm going to say Christian Wood probably top 15. Perhaps could be top 10 by the end of this video. Yeah, just, obviously a really good story with him just being a guy that was, going from 10-day contracts to 10-day contracts. Pistons gave him a little bit of a chance, and he excelled, and, well, he ended up going to the Houston Rockets. But, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, next up, we do have Dwight Howard. So, Dwight is not the player he once was. I don't really think anybody's asking him to be the player he once was. I would have to say for right now, Dwight is probably in that top 30 range. He's more of a role-playing center. Yes, he can grab some rebounds and score on the inside every now and then, but just simply, he's there for role player, veteran leadership purposes, right? So yes. Next up, we have DeAndre Ayton. So DeAndre Ayton, I would probably say, based off of his improvement last season, his field goal efficiency, all that stuff, I probably have him as a top 5 center right now. I probably have him as a top 5. I'm good with that. Next up, we got Derek Favors. Derek Favors kind of in the same realm as like Dwight Howard, where just like, getting his contract and everything, plays your traditional center type of role, not really bringing anything crazy extra to the team. I probably have him in the top 30 range for right now too. Yeah. Next up, we got my guy Isaiah Stewart, man. Beef Stew. So Beef Stew is going to be one of those guys that people look at and not really know much about him because, I'm sure you don't really watch a lot of Piston games and stuff. I'm excited for him this season. He's a bundle of energy. He's a lot of fun to watch. I'd probably say for right now I'm going to have him in the top 25 range, but I do expect him to be top probably 20 by the end of the season, given the opportunity. He just needs more opportunity. He's going to be the starter now. Mason Plumlee's no longer on the team, so I feel like that's about right. Next up, we have Jarrett Allen. So Jarrett Allen is a great center, more of your traditional type of dude, but I do see him every now and then working on his jump shot and everything. So I probably have him in the top 15 range for right now. Definitely going to have to start adding some guys to the top 10. I could realistically see where all these guys get added to the top 10 by the end of this video, but we'll kind of see. Next up, we do have Joel Embiid. This one's pretty easy. He's a top 5 center. You know, obviously number 2 to Jokic, I would say, right? So just real quick here, let's toss Jokic in the top 5 and be done with that. Okay, next up, we do have Nurkic. So Nurkic, I don't really think was the same player after the broken leg, but, you know, I would have said before he would have been top 15, but, you know, this past season, not really the same player, so I'm going to probably say in the top 20 range. Okay, next up we do have Jakob Poeltl of the San Antonio Spurs. Great defensive center, very limited offensively. I'm looking at the rest of the guys on the list, and while I do respect his game and everything, I can't really justify having him, you know, really in that top 25 range. Yeah, man, probably in the top 30. I need to see him add, you know, the more offense to his game and everything, right? Alrighty, next up we have Jonas Valanciunas. Always puts up good, solid numbers. I would probably say top 15 range for him. Top 15 range. Yeah. Next up, we do have James Wiseman. So James Wiseman, definitely a bit of a product, something that's being worked on, and, you know, he's got a lot of great potential, but we can't really credit him for what he's doing, or we can't really credit him for what he has to do and not so much what he's doing. So based off right now, James Wiseman probably top 25, but obviously could have a monumentuous, there we go, that's the word, leap into stardom very quickly, especially playing with the Splash Bros. Okay, next up we got Cat. I still think Cat is a top 5 center. I think he's a top 5 center. There's no surprise there. Yes, he had a lot of personal issues and health issues last season, but when push comes to shove, he's still getting it done. Next up, we got Kem Birch. Easy. Okay, Kristaps Porzingis. So we are going to pretend that this is Dwight Powell because Kristaps was actually the power forward in the power forward video. So we'll assume it's Dwight Powell or Willie Cauley-Stein. Is he still on the team? Whoever else, man. Moses Brown, probably top 30 range. I can already hear the comments, man, because people didn't watch the video saying, you got Kristaps in the top 30? What the hell, Crispy? Bro, so, yeah, if you all see that in the comments, man, just go drop an L in that comment for me, please, okay? Thank you. Next up, we got Montrez. Montrez is interesting. I probably would have had him top 15 a season ago. Was not that great with the Lakers. Top 20 feels right. That feels right. Next up, we do have Mason Plumlee. So Mason Plumlee was actually a bit of a surprise for the Pistons. I mean, his defense was good. His playmaking was exceptional. He's still Mason Plumlee in the end of the day. I want to say top 30. I would probably say top 25, though, for Mason Plumlee. He was nice at times. Okay, next up, we do have Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, I have as a top 20 for his defense alone. I think that's well warranted. I feel like he still needs to get healthy, work on not fouling as much and all that, but I think top 20 feels good. Next up, we have Miles Turner. So Miles Turner, you know, every season we kind of say how we expect him to kind of take another leap offensively and kind of be more of a takeover type of guy. It's not really his game at this point. I feel like at this point he just is who he is, which is okay. But you can't deny the defense and everything. I probably have him in top 15 still. I have him as a top 15. Okay, next up, we got Nikola Vucevic. Vucevic is the top 10 center. Always near all-star caliber numbers. Love him on the Bulls. Love him with this new team and everything. It's great. Alright, next up we have Rudy Gobert. So this is where you get to the point where is what Rudy does offense or defensively, I should say, enough to warrant top 5 over what some of these other guys can do. Because, like, I look at Bam Adebayo, and, like, Bam is no slouch himself defensively. No, he's not as good as Rudy Gobert. Gobert's the best defensive center of the NBA. But what Bam can bring you offensively, I think, kind of makes up for that. DeAndre Ayton, I just feel like his offense and everything, and his rebounding everything, man, is just, I feel like I'd rather have DeAndre Ayton now over Rudy Gobert. Yeah, I got Rudy Gobert probably as, like, number 6. I mean, maybe you can argue DeAndre Ayton. That's the only guy I would have a discussion about in this case, but I'm not taking Rudy over any of those other guys. Plain simp. Next up, we have Richaun Holmes. Okay, I gotta clean a few things up here because I'm looking at all these guys right here. I don't really see anybody warranted being in the top 10. So I think at that point, by default, I'm moving up Clint Capela. I'm gonna move up Christian Wood, and I think I'm gonna move up Jonas Valanciunas, and that's gonna be my top 5, top 10. And I like that. I like that. Richaun Holmes, he's solid, man. He's solid. I'm gonna toss Richaun Holmes probably in the top 20 tier. Yeah, very underrated player for the Kings last year. Steven Adams, I would probably say the same thing. So at that point, now I got to move somebody up to the top 15. And out of all these guys to move up the top 15, you probably say, man, Brook just don't give me enough these days, man. Probably say Montrez for top 15. Serge Ibaka, when healthy, is pretty dang nice. But I still think I would probably have him in that top 20 range. Just more of a role player type of center now. And I guess maybe we can move up. Man, I'm having struggles here, bro. Is Brook Lopez warranted top 15 center? I don't think he is, man. Oh, this one's tough. This one is tough. It was this Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter's fine. We'll move him right there top 25. And let's go ahead and bump up. Let's bump up Al Horford to top 20. And then we got to toss 2 of these guys here into top 15. I guess I would probably take Brook Lopez and Richaun Holmes. I am not confident in my top 15 through top 20. This one was tough, man. That one was tough. Oh, boy. Man. Okay, it's bothering me. I don't know what to do. Damn it. I think we're good. I think we're good. Is Al Horford still... Man, I think I'm taking Al Horford over Brook Lopez still. I really think I am. Because Mitchell Robinson, I got to see more out of, man. I really do. I got to see more out of him. I do. And then I would probably have him there. Okay. I think that's the end of the video. I think that's the end of the ranking series. I feel like I didn't go off with a bang on this one, but maybe you guys will look at it and be like, no, Crispy, you got it down pretty good. That top 15 through 20 was rough. That's all we got. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.